Knowing me, you're going to cut out that part, right? To make me look good. All right. All right. Hello and welcome everyone to live coaching with Leslie. I'm so excited that you are here today. Just as a reminder, we do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. We do it on Facebook. We do it on Zoom as well. And there are some exceptions to that. For example, one exception is we're not doing it next week. Why are we not doing it next week? Because next week is Thanksgiving, right? And I'm going to be giving thanks with my family. I hope you're going to be doing the same thing as well if you are in the U.S. So next week we won't do it, but we're going to continue after that. Welcome. Today we are talking about how to get more done by doing less. Once again, how to get more done by doing less. I hope you're excited about that. Just as a reminder, if you are on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever we go live. We're going to be talking about how to get more done while doing less. And if you would like to come on and get some coaching, you want to come on Zoom, I dropped a link to the Zoom on Facebook in the comments and also on YouTube. It's a pinned comment. If you are joining live, let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from. I'm excited that you are all here. I'm going to get into today's topic. All right. How to get more done by doing less. All right. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2008, I started my online business. And when I started my online business, I was a science and math teacher. And as a science and math teacher, things were intense. And I decided I'm going to add an online business to the mix. So that's exactly what I did. I started my online business and all right, I'm seeing comments. I was talking and I was like, wait, why is nobody commenting? And I didn't hit the go live button. What's up? Alana is in the house. Hello, Alana. Glad to have you here. We've got Pierre in the house as well. Now we're getting some interactions. Now I feel like I'm not just talking to myself. So yes, I started my online business. And when I started my online business, things got intense. And I was working so much. When I wasn't working at my job, I was working on my business. When I wasn't working on my business, I was working on my job. When I wasn't doing either of them, I was sleeping. And it got so intense that at a certain point, this was around somewhere middle of 2009, it just got so overwhelming that I said, you know what? I am done. This is not worth it. It is just too much. I give up. And I literally stopped. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, right? You have so much going on and you're trying to get so much done and it gets extremely overwhelming. That's exactly where I was. Now, when I stopped my online business, something interesting happened. I continued making money. And I was like, what is going on? I'm not doing all the work that I was doing before, but money is still coming in. That showed me that there was a smarter way of doing things. And I made a decision that I was going to go back. I was going to start my online business again, but I was going to do it in a smarter way. And some of what I'm talking about today is exactly what I have done. We've got No More Newbie in the house says, good evening, Leslie. I've only found your channel this week. Your videos on OBS have been so helpful. Thank you so much. You are very much welcome. I am so glad that those videos were helpful to you. Stick around because we got a whole lot of other stuff coming your way. Some really good stuff. So when I started back, I knew I had to do something different. And over the years, since 2008, I've been refining that process. I don't have it perfect, but I've learned a whole lot. And I'm going to share some of that with you today. If you're excited, let me know in the chat, and we're going to make this happen. What I'm going to talk about is 6 steps, 6 things that can help you to get more done by doing less. By the way, if you're on YouTube and you're on Facebook, we're going to talk about this stuff. But then if you want some coaching on anything in particular related to growing your business or what we do online and all that good stuff, I highly recommend coming over to Zoom. I left the link, the Zoom link, in the YouTube comments and also in the Facebook comments, so you can click on that and come on over here so you can ask your question if you want to do it on video. All right, 6 things I want to talk about. And in order to understand these things, we got to talk about, I used to be a physics teacher. And when I was a physics teacher, there was one equation that I used to teach to my students that has carried over to what I'm doing now, and I absolutely love it. It's the equation for pressure. Now, bear with me. We're going to do some physics here really quick. The formula for pressure is this. P equals F over A. Pressure equals force over area. Now, if you have a certain amount of force, you can influence the amount of pressure by changing the area of focus. What do I mean by that? Now, some of you are like, whoa, 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 Leslie, whoa, what? I'm here for business stuff. I'm here for tech. I'm here for blogging. Why are you giving me physics? Just bear with me a little bit. I'm gonna keep it simple. All right, let's say I take my hand like this in a fist, and I hit my thigh. I just did it just now. All right, maybe you heard it. You heard that? All right. When I did that, it didn't really hurt that much. I'm applying a certain amount of force to a certain area. Now, what happens if I change the area of focus? What happens if, and we're going to take an extreme case here, what happens if I apply the same amount of force, but instead of hitting my arm, my leg directly, my thigh directly, I take a needle and I put it in between the thigh and the hand, the fist, and I do the same thing? Will it hurt? I guarantee that it will hurt. Why will it hurt so much? Because I'm taking the same amount of force and I'm applying it. I'm focusing it on a much smaller area. And because I do that, the pressure is going to be so high that I guarantee you I'm going to scream. I'm not going to do that right now because, I don't like pain that much. But you get the point. Same amount of force. Focus it on a smaller area. The pressure grows significantly. Now, how does that relate to what we're talking about? Let's talk about what I call the impact equation, because it works in the same way. Impact equals effort over your area of focus. If I'm putting out a certain amount of effort, all right, and I'm not changing the amount of effort, how do I influence the impact? By having a smaller area of focus. If I take the same amount of effort and I apply it to a smaller area of focus, the impact grows significantly. The impact is so great that maybe you're not going to scream because it hurts, but it's going to have much more of, an impact. That is the premise for what I'm talking about today. If we can focus more, we actually get more done. Does that make sense? If you can focus more, you will get more done. Alana says, I am excited about this session. I am excited about your excitement, Alana, because this is such important stuff. This will make the biggest difference if you get it right. So with that, with the impact equation, let's go through the 6 points. Number 1, as you think about your business or as you think about anything that you're working on, I want you to ask the question. I want you to answer the question, what is the goal? What are you trying to actually accomplish? Are you trying to grow your business? Are you trying to grow your audience, grow your reach? What are you actually trying to do? Now let's take, a lot of the people that follow me, they follow me because they're looking for business advice. They want to grow their online business. They want to start a blog. They want to grow their YouTube channel. They want to make money or whatever the case might be. They're trying to grow their business. All right? If that is the case, then that is the goal. And you want to get as specific with that goal as possible. So for example, for me, it might be that I want to get a certain number of coaching clients, or you have a course that you want to sell and you want to get a certain number of sales in a month, or whatever the case might be. You want to be clear on the goal. And maybe your goal is, for now, you just want to grow your audience because you have a message that you want to put out there. You have an organization or a cause that you work for, and you want to expand the reach so that you can have an impact on more people. Whatever that goal is, I want you to identify that goal. I want you to be clear on that goal. That's number one. What is the goal? Answer that question. Now, once you know what that goal is, I want you to apply the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule simply says, in my own words, 80% of your output is going to come from 20% of your input. All right? If you're trying to grow your business, if you're trying to build your business and you make money with your business, what you will find at a certain point, when you start making money, the bulk of your income is going to come from, a few of the things that you do. It's not that it's coming from everything that you're doing equally. Maybe you're spending time on social media and doing research. Maybe you're creating your product. Maybe you're focusing on growing your email list. You're creating funnels. You're doing all these different things. Of all the things that you're doing, what you're going to find over time is that there are a few of those things that contribute the most to what you're actually trying to accomplish. And your goal is to identify the 20%. Let's say you are trying to grow a blog. Well, what are the 20% of things that you need to do in order to grow that blog? Well, obviously you got to create content. You got to create really good content, and then you got to create some more content. And the content, really, that is like the main thing that results in the growth of your business. But it's not just that. Then you have to promote that content. Create content, promote content. If you're trying to grow an audience, those are the two main things you're going to be focused on doing. So use the 80-20 rule to decide to determine what are the 20% of things that I need to be focusing on. Number 3. So number 1, identify the goal. Number 2, apply the 80-20 rule. Number 3, once you've applied the 80-20 rule, you've figured out, you've decided, okay, these are the things that I really need to focus on. Then start eliminating. You start getting rid of the stuff that doesn't, the things that don't move the needle, or the things that aren't as impactful. If you're noticing you're spending 5 hours checking emails, 3 hours browsing social media, and all of that browsing of social media isn't doing anything for what your goal is, then cut that down significantly. Start eliminating what you can. You don't have to do everything. There's a myth that in order to grow online, you got to be on all the social platforms. You got to be creating content on your blog very frequently. You got to be making YouTube videos. You got to be on TikTok now and on Facebook and Instagram and all these things. It's too much. So choose that the 20%, and then take a hard look at that 80% of things that you're spending your time on and see, what can I get rid of? What can I get help with so that someone else can do it and I don't have to do it? What can I automate? If you're spending a lot of time creating emails to answer people's questions, well, maybe you could create a bunch of canned messages to make it much easier. So you have these templates that you can pull from, so it doesn't take as much of your time. Maybe you can do some of them as email autoresponders. All of those things helps you to eliminate the amount of time that you're spending on all these things that aren't moving the needle. Does that make sense? All right, that's number 3. Number 4. So once you've done the 80-20 analysis, once you've decided what you're going to be eliminating, it's time to take focused action, because we only have a certain amount of time in a day. So the time that you have remaining, you can now take that time and use it to focus on the things that make the big difference. Focus on creating content. Focus on promoting your content on the social media platform that you are deciding to focus on. That is what you want to be doing. Instead of trying to do everything, identify what you're going to focus on and then start taking that focused action. That is number 4. Number 5, track your results. Track your results. All right. You're on social media, you're promoting your content. Maybe you're doing some guest posting. You're collaborating with others. Maybe you're doing some email marketing. You have all of these things that you're doing, and you want to determine what is effective versus what is not effective. How do you do that? Well, fortunately for you, last week we launched a course. I launched a course. 100% free of charge. It's right here on my YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, you can check it out on the YouTube channel. Leslie Samuel over on the YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/Leslie Samuel TV, yeah, youtube.com/Leslie Samuel TV, you can check it out there. But what you want to do is track what is actually working. And I walk you through a process of creating, setting up Google Analytics, creating your campaign URLs and those kinds of things, because that is going to help you to determine what is actually working. You'll be able to say, hey, when I make these kinds of posts on this social media platform, it sends this kind of traffic. And you'll be able to identify that in specific numbers. So it's no more guessing. It's no more trying to figure out what is working for me, what is not working for me. You can see it right there, plain and simple. So number 5 is track your results. And number 6, it's the last point. It's probably going to be a very short stream tonight, and that's all good. Number 6, refine. Refine. Because you know what the goal is. You've done the 80-20 analysis. You've eliminated the things that is just a waste of time. You've maybe delegated some things, outsourced some things. You just completely get rid of some things that you don't need to focus on. You don't need to waste your time on. You are taking focused action. You are tracking your results. When you track your results, you're going to start seeing what's working and what's not working. And as you see what's not working, guess what you do? You eliminate it. And as you see what is working, guess what you do? You do more of that. That's pretty much it. Identify the goal. Do an 80-20 analysis. Eliminate all the unnecessary stuff. Delegate, outsource, scrap completely. Take focused action on the 20% of things that are essential in your business. Track your results and refine what you're doing based on that data. No More Newbie says, loving all these tips and your enthusiasm and clear explanations. Thank you very much. I'm so glad to hear that. Hey, if any of you have any questions, we'll take a few of them. If there are no questions, we're going to wrap things up. But go ahead and let me know. If you want to come over to Zoom and ask your question there via audio, you can definitely use the link there that's on YouTube or on Facebook to come on over. Alana says, thank you, fabulous tips, and so looking forward to checking this out. Absolutely. And if you go to IamLeslieSamuel.com and you go to the resources page, hold on, let me actually show you that really quick. All right, so we're on IamLeslieSamuel.com. We go to resources over here. You're going to see that there is a free course, how to track the ROI of social media. And this right here is where the magic is happening. You don't even have to sign up. You don't have to opt in to take the course. We have all these videos from an introduction to how to track the ROI of social media, to how to some of the things that we're talking about here, right? How to identify your goals for your social media marketing, how to set up goals in Google Analytics, how to set up e-commerce tracking in Google Analytics, a UTM tracking tutorial, how to create campaign URLs so you can track what is actually working, and how to evaluate the results of your social media campaign. 100% free of charge. If you haven't checked it out as yet, man, you're missing it. You're missing it. All right, let's see here really quick if we have any questions. Yes, great question. No More Newbie on YouTube is asking, how do we know which social medias we should focus on? You know, that is a great question. How do you know which social media platform you should focus on? There are a number of things to consider. First thing you want to consider is what is your platform about? I'll give you an example of how I've made this decision. Back in 2010 or so, I started a blog. It was a biology blog, and I started a YouTube channel as well. It's called Interactive Biology. It's a channel and a business and a blog that I sold a few years ago, but I was able to grow it from 0 to 134,000 subscribers before I grew it. Now, when I wanted to start that blog, I knew that I wanted to focus on upper level biology for students that are taking classes like physiology and neuroscience and those kinds of things. And I also knew that the thing that they struggled with was understanding complicated concepts. So what I decided to do is I decided to make YouTube my focus. And the reason for that is I knew that in order to explain those concepts to people, I would have to use video. And I would have to use video of a certain type so that I could reach that audience. So I decided, and I know, we're talking about social media. I consider YouTube a form of social media as well. There are social aspects to it and so on. Right now we're engaging, you're commenting and that kind of stuff. So because of the kind of content I wanted to make, I decided to go with YouTube. All right. Now, I don't know what industry you're in, what niche you're in. And I see a number of people commenting, Denlin is in the house. What a guan. She said, what a guan, brethren. Good to see you here. Infinity Explorer is here in the house. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Infinity Explorer. I am doing well. I hope you are doing well too. Okay, so yeah. Now, whatever industry you're in, you want to think about this. And the people, first of all, who are you trying to reach? Who are you trying to reach? And where are they spending time? Are you trying to reach, younger individuals that are interested in gaming? Are you trying to reach teachers that are interested in making a better curriculum for their students? Whatever it is for you, now you have to ask, where are those people spending time? That's the next question that you want to ask yourself. Then you also want to think about the kind of content you want to be creating. Is what you're doing a very visual thing? Maybe you're doing a recipe blog. Well, if you're doing a recipe blog, that's very visual. You could see using platforms like Instagram for that, or Pinterest, because those are very visual platforms. Depending on the kind of content you want to be making, maybe you want to make short, quick videos. If that is the case, and you know your audience is on TikTok, for example, then you're gonna spend more time on a platform like TikTok. You have to think about who you're trying to reach, where they're spending time, and the kind of content you want to create and the way you want to interact and engage with people. Those are the kinds of things that you want to take into consideration when you are trying to decide which social platform you want to use. I actually have a podcast episode coming out. Just today I was working on the outline for that podcast episode. That podcast episode is coming out on next week. November 25th, next week, Wednesday. And it's going to be called How to Create Your Social Media Strategy. And we're going to talk about choosing your platform. We're going to talk about how do you create that strategy. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, it's called The Leslie Samuel Show. We just dropped an episode yesterday, and we do them every Wednesday. So make sure to check that out if you aren't subscribed right now. So I hope that helps in terms of helping you to decide how do you choose which platform you want to use. All right, Tana So Lit in the house says, hey, Leslie Samuel, what software are you streaming with? OBS? I am not streaming with OBS. OBS is actually not a platform that I like to use. What is great about OBS is that it's free. So because it's free and you can do a whole lot with it, I think OBS is a great program for many people to use. The one that I'm using, though, is called Vmix. Vmix is much more complicated than OBS. This is my Vmix. This is Vmix right now, and you can see you could set up all of these scenes and so on, similar to how you can do with OBS, but you actually have a whole lot more control of what you're doing than you do with OBS. So Vmix is what I use. I'm using a PC. I wanted something that's extremely powerful. That is Vmix for me. Also, I'm using this Elgato Stream Deck thing here to switch between the different scenes so that when I bring a comment on the screen or take the comment off, I can do all of that. I can bring in this and tell you, hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell notification icon and all that good stuff. And all of that is programmed directly into Vmix right here. So that is what I am using for my live stream, and I enjoy it very much. If I were on a Mac, I'd be using Ecamm Live. I'm working on a tutorial for that right now because Ecamm Live is awesome. Let's see. Tana Salit says, okay, cool. Thanks. I use Ecamm Live for now and will check out Vmix. Now, Vmix, it's just the letter V and then mix. That is PC only. So if you're using Ecamm Live is on a Mac, so you won't be able to use Vmix on a Mac. If you're on Mac, go all in on Ecamm Live. That is the best that I found. I love what those guys are doing over at Ecamm Live. I was even talking to the creators this week because I'm working on the tutorials on a video review of Ecamm Live. And yes, just like you, I agree as well. Ecamm Live is very awesome. Those guys, man, those guys continue to impress me with what they're doing with that platform. All right, let's see. No More Newbie says, that was so helpful. Thank you for answering. I really appreciate it. You are very much welcome, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I'm here to provide any kind of guidance that that is possible. So I'm glad to do that. We have another Ecamm Live believer in the house. Jordan is in the house and he says, I love Ecamm. Not just love it, he put the flexed bicep up there emoji. You might not be able to see that with the comment that I put on the screen. But anyhow, let's take the next question. By the way, if you have a question, go ahead and ask it. You can type it in the chat, in the comments area. If you want to come on live and ask the question, I left the link to Zoom in the comments. You can click on that and come over and you can ask your question that way. And you can get some coaching if you would like as well. But we're going to continue with the comments of the questions on social right now. No More Newbie on YouTube once again is asking, can Vmix be used for gaming streams? Not sure how to spell it. It is, like I said before, the letter V and then mix. So Vmix. And yes, it can be used for any kind of streams. Here's the thing with Vmix. Vmix is actually relatively complicated. It's relatively complicated because you can literally do just about anything you want to do with a live stream. If you can think about doing something on a live stream, you can find a way to do it in Vmix. But every single thing that you want to do in Vmix, you have to build it from scratch. The way I compare it, and this is something that I'm working on for this review that I'm doing as well. There's a program like Ecamm Live, which is Mac only, and there's a program like Vmix, which is PC only. And I compare them to things like iPhoto or Apple Photos and Photoshop. If you want to make an awesome, you take a picture and you want to edit it and make it look awesome, you can do that really well in Apple Photos. Even if you don't have any, you didn't go to school and study photography or anything of that sort, you can add a filter. You can make it look really awesome without a lot of skill. That is your Ecamm Live. Because right out of the box, they've built it to make it very user-friendly and very easy for the newbie, for the beginner. And just because it's friendly for the newbie doesn't mean it isn't powerful. Because the bulk of what I do on Vmix, you can do it on Ecamm Live. And if I don't know all the ins and outs of Vmix, yours is gonna look better on Ecamm Live than mine will. Now, Vmix is kind of like Photoshop. Photoshop is the professional software. And if you want to make something really awesome, if you are a professional photographer, you're gonna use Photoshop. Now, if I try to use Photoshop to make an awesome looking image, it's not gonna look very good because I don't know all the ins and outs of making Photoshop images look awesome on Photoshop. That is like your Vmix. Vmix, you can control everything, you can tweak everything, but you have to build it. My wife and I do this music thing where she's singing, and I'm on my keyboard, and we're monitoring everything kind of separately and so on. I can do that all on Vmix and bring each channel in separately, which is way more than the average person will need to do. But it is possible with Vmix, and it's not possible with many of the others that are out there. All right, Tana Solit says, thanks for clearing that up, bro. You are very much welcome, bro. I'm glad to help out. He also says, Ecamm Live is way more steady than OBS and Streamlabs. I haven't had any issues yet. Man, like I said, these guys are doing some great work over there, and they've even, just recently released a feature where you can bring in guests and interview them, and you can have up to 4 guests and that kind of stuff. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it well. They never cease to amaze me with what they're doing and how responsive they have been to the community, and they're just genuinely nice people. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Ecamm Live is awesome. I love those guys. Those guys rock. All right. I don't see any more comments at the moment. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But I want to remind you that while we do this, while we do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will not be doing it next Thursday because next Thursday it's Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna be giving thanks with my family. We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be eating some food. We're gonna have some turkey, but we like to do jerk turkey because we're from the islands, and that's how we roll. So we're gonna have some jerk turkey and all that good stuff. So I will not be streaming live next week, Thursday. We're gonna start back again the week after that. So thank you so much for joining. As a reminder, if you're not subscribed as yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever we go live. Wishing you an amazing rest of the week. Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving and all the best. That's it. Y'all have a good night or good morning. Peace out.